Melissa Derrick. Melissa Derrick. Okay, we'll come back to Melissa. We'll go ahead and move into Lisa Marie Coppola. If you'll please state your name for the record.
Hi, I'm Lisa Marie Coppola, 1322 Boven. I'm here today to talk about that letter that y'all sent out to the residents of Blanco Gardens. And I do feel a lot better after I met with city management today and some people from the development department. I'm just kind of hoping that y'all will be a little bit more diplomatic in the future. You know, I've been involved in politics for a long time, and even when I looked at the letters, it freaked me out. I didn't understand it. I do feel better after having that meeting, and I just hope that we all can chill out and maybe y'all can have some outreach, because people are going through a lot of emotional stuff right now with this flooding, and people are angry and they're upset and they've got a lot of things on their mind they're taking care of. And so if you guys could maybe just be a little more diplomatic on these matters. The other thing that's really important is the planning issue. I mean, we've got, you know, the place over there by the Walmart, the Hays County Jail, those apartments, they got flooded, right? And some of those kids had to swim, literally, those students swim to safety. And those parents, when they put those kids in those apartment complexes, they're unaware of that. I was unaware of the flooding issue because I wasn't in San Marcos during that last flood. I think it's also important that we get the drainage done first before we build, you know, the glam plants that we put out there and think about what the building's going to look like and be more judicious, because, you know, people's lives have been ruined. And this town is, it's just devastating what's happened. So once again, I appreciate the time the city invested today, and I certainly feel better, and I hope there's more outreach. God bless San Marcos.
Thank you. We'll come back to Melissa Derrick. You'll please approach the podium and state your name for the record.
Mayor and Council, Melissa Derrick. I have a few questions that I'm hoping might be able to be answered tonight. And my primary concern right now is that we have people that are going in and devaluing homes that were damaged so that people won't have the tax burden. But at the same time, we've got FEMA coming in to assess property value, and if your property is 50%, you know, if the cost of the repairs was 50% the value of your home, is that going to be based on the value of the home before the flood or the value of the home after the new, surveys are done? Also, I wanted to know, the Corps of Engineers, I know they're assessing the flood right now. Are they assessing any kind of increased impact that the incomplete drainage system and the moats that weren't installed added to the flooding at Blanco Gardens? Are they assessing that, or will the apartments be required to assess that at some time to prove that they weren't liable for anything? I know why you did this, but I know the question of a lot of people that I keep hearing over and over again is why were the letters sent out with not, like, a lot of information about what to do? So that thereby it really, you know, increased everybody's stress levels, and, you know, they're feeling PTSD now. I mean, you know, all these things happening, and now they're told, well, I repaired my home, I'm going to have to elevate it or destroy it. And information is slowly coming out that the city is working on, you know, getting small FEMA grants for those homeowners, perhaps, but it's not really widely spread. And so I think that the people in Blanco Gardens deserve more communication, more direct flow of communication about what's going on, coming from the city, coming from letters, so that they can understand what's going on and not just get a letter saying you might have to tear your house down. Another thing is that I know that one person in particular that I talked to does not have a laptop or computer at home, and they're not permitted to use a computer where they work for personal business. So they opened their city permit on their iPhone, and on the iPhone, the red disclaimer doesn't show. And that's probably a technical issue that I'm sure no one knew about. But I was shown this, and I know it to be true. When this person sent it to me, I was like, well, what are you talking about? It's right there. And when I looked on the phone, you couldn't see it. So that may be a technical issue that the tech people need to work on, and notification, electronic notification. And I know this has been a really hard time for everyone. There's, you know, regular city business going on during the flood. So I want to thank you all for your service. And I only had one more question, is that after all this time, I still don't understand why it was approved when the planning department came forward with a no. They said, do not build it. I want to know why those people who voted for it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Our next speaker is Charlotte Inslee. Charlotte Inslee, if you'll please approach the podium and state your name for the record.
My name is Charlotte Inslee. I'd like to commend and thank each one of the council members for serving. For the most part, it's a thankless task, and I realize that. I guess I'm kind of late in the game on this because we had homes that were flooded, investment homes. We did not receive this letter from the city until today. It was mailed to 619 Conway, which is not where we live. We live at 107 Nichols. I guess I want to follow this with the notice was late in coming. So late, in fact, that whenever the flood occurred and our properties were impacted, we made an appeal or an application to FEMA, and because these were investment properties and not a primary residence, we were referred to the Small Business Association, the loans, because we were not applicable, we were not eligible for that. And I'm not asking for your pity here, because we have been very fortunate and blessed to have worked all of our lives to get to the point where we're at, where we're financially stable. We are not independent upon any family member, and we hope to be that way until we die. That is our goal. It has been our goal all of our lives. However, saying that, I feel for all these people here who have been impacted. Many of them are young. Many of them are middle-aged, and some of them are getting up a little older. But their lives have been impacted. We were lucky. We started digging into our retiree savings immediately. Immediately, fellas, or gentlemen and ladies. And we have got 2 homes done, and we're working on our 3rd, only to be told now that FEMA has come in and mandated that we raise our foundations a foot. Okay, so now let's talk about these people who are impacted. We're taken care of. Do I like our homes being raised a foot? No, I don't. I don't like it at all. And they don't like it either. Apparently there's a BR3 or something that's going to come into effect that no one knows exactly who to contact or whatever. They're supposed to give some assistance. I want to leave that alone right now. But there's the effect of the flood right there. All these people, hundreds of people, and people like ourselves that have been out thousands of dollars. That's the effect. The cause, you were put on notice that those apartments that were built were going to create a floodway. So now they have, do I have any more time left?
You can finish your comment.
Now they have built a soil embankment up there, which has only increased. Any type of flood that comes in, it's going to just flood right on down into all of the previous areas. And it's not going to be a foot that you have to build it up. It's going to be 2 or 3 feet. So I issue this is my final comment. I issue this challenge to this membership, that you look for a solution to this floodage, that you look for a diversion to the flood that occurred, that you can redirect that water where it is away from homes that are already in existence. I thank you for listening to my comments.
Thank you, ma'am. Our next speaker is Juan Garcia. If you'll please approach the podium and state your name for the record.
My name is Juan Garcia. I live on 111 Smith Lane, retired veteran, did 35 years in the Army, and I love San Marcos. And I paid my property off. I said, when I retire, I'm going to pay my property off. This way, I'll have a nice home to retire my wife and I. And because I love where I live, Smith Lane is a beautiful area and everything else. In '98, we had the big flood, and my house got damaged very little. So but I'm still gonna speak. And but in '98, water went through Smith Lane and it poured down the Blanco, the San Marcos River. Water never got into my lower rooms at all. it just went through. When they built those apartments, they had a big berm of dirt. And that when that water hit that berm, it just came back and it flooded everything. If that berm hadn't been there, if that berm hadn't been there, none of this would have happened. Everybody would have been happy. But that berm caused all this damage to all these people. That's what happened. If that berm hadn't been there, the water would have gone straight to the Blanco, to the Marcos River, and none of this would have happened. But y'all created a big problem with that big berm that was there. Now it's gone. But who can tell that it might not, we might have another flood again? But if that berm hadn't been there, everything would have been okay. My other issue is I didn't get a letter at all, maybe because my property wasn't damaged at all. My house is in beams and everything, and so I got damaged very little. But this letter about building up, your property higher. Some of these people are very poor, low income. Who's going to pay for all of that? The city's going to pay for that? I mean, I'm retired and I have a little bit of savings and everything, and my house is paid off, and my house is sits in beams and everything. I think I'm pretty well off, pretty good. But I just feel for the people that are lower than me, all the people in CM Mellon with low income, where they go, how are they gonna survive? So that's just my issue, it's and I don't know why. Maybe because I didn't get a letter because my property wasn't damaged that much, but I still care because I love the people in San Marcos. I love my area. I don't want to move. I love where I live and everything else. I'm getting to that age. I served my country 35 years, and I think San Marcos should take care of some of us people that we serve our country. And I love San Marcos, and I don't want to move anywhere else. If they give me $100,000 for my property, I am not going to buy a property that I have right now for $100,000. Simple as that. So, I guess that's about it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Our last speaker is Clarissa Valderas. You'll please approach the podium and state your name for the record.
Hello, my name is Clarissa Valderas and I live at 915 Sturgeon. I do want your pity. I still own my house. I can't raise it 1.5 feet. But that's the limit that I have for me to raise it 1.5 feet. I'm still paying my mortgage. I had to rent a small efficiency for, more than half of my mortgage. So I have all these bills. FEMA's not helping me. I pay my bills. I have good credit. So FEMA's not going to help me. That ICC grant only goes up to $30,000. My house that is built on slab is going to cost over $100,000 to raise it up a 1.5 feet. I just don't know what I'm going to do. I just need somebody to tell me what I'm supposed to do and how I'm going to do it without getting into so much more debt than I am already. Thank you.
Thank you. That brings us to the end of our citizens' comment period for this evening. We're going to go into the presentation momentarily.